Hi, I'm Ellie, and this is your weekly theatre news recap, the only news show where I'm surrounded by literally boxes and boxes of programmes. Just off camera, you can't see them. Yes, this is the most chaotic way to get your theatre news from the UK. And if you want to stay up to date with all things happening with UK tours and West End theatre, make sure you hit subscribe and like this video because I do these every single week to varying levels of quality and success. But we're back once again, and do you know what? This week was busy. I did not quite realise how busy this week was until I sat down, wrote down all this news and went, oh god, this week was busy. But because it's a busy week, let's just dive straight in. Where do we start? Where we always do with our casting news. First off, let's head off West End to the Park Theatre, where we are getting a transfer from the Edinburgh Fringe, Cyrano. This is a gender-swapped take on Cyrano de Bergerac, title of a play that I'm hoping I pronounced right. It's very French. And I'm not very French. I studied German, and still I can't even speak German, so like, what hope do I have with French? I heard a lot of great things about this piece at the Fringe, and guess what? It's a little bit fruity. How fruity is it? The person who wrote it literally has gay in their name. It couldn't get any gayer than this. We love to see it. This will be playing at this theatre from the 11th of December to the 11th of January, and will star writer Virginia Gay, told you, as Cyrano, with Jessica Whitehurst taking on the role of Roxanne. And additional cast members Tessa Wong, David Tarkenter, and Tanvi Vermani. So, if you want to go see Cyrano, but it's lesbians and we love to see it, go and see Cyrano. I really want to see this one. I really do. I really do. This sounds right up my alley. It's gay. What more do I need? Next up, we're heading towards a future West End show. Clueless has announced its 2 leading cast members. We've still got quite a while to wait. This doesn't open in the West End at the Trafalgar Theatre until the 15th of February 2025. But we do know who is our Cher and who is our Josh. Emma Flynn will be taking on the role of Cher, and Keelan Macaulay will be playing Josh. I call Macaulay... Guess who started barking and now has to join us for this video? It's Willow. She's been trimmed. She's had a haircut. Willow, what do you think of the casting news of Emma Flynn and Keelan Macaulay in Clueless, the musical? No comment. So yeah, where was I? Anyway, yeah, I've just seen Keelan Macaulay as JD in the Heathers tour. So if you want to catch these two, you can go and see Clueless. She's scratching herself next to me. You can kind of see her. Next up, we have some casting news over at Les Mis. So, it has been announced that Katie Hall is going and joining the arena tour for 8 weeks. She is our current Fontaine in London's West End, but she's going to be travelling all across the world. I think she's doing it on like Australia. I think that's where she's joining, and a couple of stops in Europe. But that leaves us Fontaine-less. Who is going to be our Fontaine in London? Well, the lovely, wonderful Lucy Jones is returning to the role of Fontaine from the 23rd of December to the 15th of February 2025. And oh my god, I missed her the first time, and I need to go. Anita-Go. That's a great drag queen name. Write that down. Anita-Go. Anitagoh. Anita-Go. So, if you want to go see Lucy Jones, which I do, and I have friends in the cast at Les Mis that I need to go see, so that is perfect time for me to go and see Les Mis again. You can go then. Hooray! Next up, we have a swap out of casting for Mary Poppins as well, because sadly, Sonia Swaby, who was due to play Mrs. Corrie in the Mary Poppins tour, which opens I think it's next week, has had to withdraw from that role. This is due to personal reasons. I'm hoping all the best for her, but it has been announced that Sharon Wattis will be taking over that role. So if you're going to catch the Mary Poppins tour, which I'm hoping to do so at one of their stops, I don't know where, but somewhere, hopefully you will go and see Sharon Wattis. Hopefully, unless she's got an understudy on. She has returned. Why have you returned? Did you realise it was much better up here? I'm trying to run my news show and you are distracting from my news show, Willow. Oh, he's resting her head on my shoulder. All right, you know what, Willow, you can stay. We have breaking news, Willow. It was announced today, as tickets go on pre-sale for Hercules in the West End, that Luke Brady, the Grammy Award winner, will be playing Hercules. We also now have the full set of dates for Hercules as well, because previously we just got told June, which is not much detail. But we now know that previews for Hercules will begin on the 6th of June 2025, with an official opening night of the 24th of June 2025. And if you're wanting to go after June, don't worry, because you can book tickets for Hercules up to the 10th of January 2026, with another extension coming very soon after that, I'm sure. Very exciting, very cool, very sleepy doggy. Would you like to go on the bed? She does. And that's it for casting news. Let's move on to concerts and events. Starting with my good friend, Mickey Joe Theatre, we have the guests announced for the next Mickey Joe Theatre Live, the last one for 2024. And when Mickey told me these guests, I could have screamed. These guests, this lineup, it's for me. This is my show now. It's like Mickey went, which 3 guests could we get that Ellie would absolutely love and adore, and then got all of them. First up, we have the incredible, the iconic Liv Androusier, star of Ride the Musical, star of Fiddler on the Roof, an absolute icon and legend, oh my god. Then, as well as that, we have Jack Malone, Olivier Award winner, star of Operation Mincemeat, an absolute icon, and just a cherry on top, the guest composer for this show is Pippa Cleary. You don't know who Pippa Cleary is? Well, you better get to know, because Pippa wrote the music alongside her writing partner for the Great British Bake Off musical, and she also wrote the music for Rob Madge's My Sons Are Queer. Oh my god, this is so good. This is so good. This is happening on the 17th of November, 2024. Make sure you book your tickets. Not only will I be there, but for some reason I co-host trivia at these shows now, so I'm in the show. I'm going to be on the stage with these legends. How am I going to keep composure? I don't know. So I hope to see you there in person, or if you can't be there in person, you can get streaming tickets, all available through the Phoenix Arts Club website. Also happening on the 17th of November 2024, but you shouldn't be there. You should be at Mickey Joe Theatre Live, is A Marvelous Party, where we've had an expanded lineup announced. This is, of course, the gala that is in tribute to No Coward, which is not happening at the No Coward, it's happening at the Prince of Wales, which I still think is a missed opportunity. And new stars announced to be in this show are Alfred Enoch, Derek Jacobi, Ian McKellen, Joshua James, Samantha Spiro, Marisha Wallace, and Leah Williams. So if you want to go see that, you can go and see it on the 17th of November 2024. One night only. As well as that, we've got some really exciting announcements about Joe, the Little Women musical. This is a new adaptation of The Little Women, which already has a musical adaptation, but this is another one. We have another Gatsby situation on our hands. We have another Phantom of the Opera on our hands. A musical which has a source material which has multiple adaptations of musicals. It joins the ranks. This is getting a concept album early next year, starring Christine Aladu, Chris Mann, and Sophie Polino. And it has been revealed, and this is why it's in this part of the video, that this will be getting a semi-staged West End concert next year, with details to be announced in the coming weeks. So I guess you've just got to keep an eye out on this channel for when that news drops, because I will definitely be sharing it. Willow is constantly moving on this bed. I don't know if you can see her on the camera, but she is making herself comfortable. That is it for concerts and events. Let's move on to miscellaneous news, where first of all we have 2 extensions to talk about. The first one is Moulin Rouge, which is extended to the 24th of May 2025, and Mean Girls, which is extended to the 8th of June 2025. So you've got more time to catch both of those shows. As well as that, we got the release of a new musical concept album, Playing with Fire. Now, the thing is, I got sent this, which is very kind of them. They very kindly sent me the cast album. The thing is, I don't own a CD player. So it took me ages to find a way to actually listen to it on a CD. I have not bought a CD in probably a decade. I think the last time I bought a CD was Amelie. So like 2017. 2017 was the last time I bought a CD. Thankfully, I have an old Xbox over there, which apparently does allow you to listen to CDs on it. So I did indeed listen to this concept album. So thank you, I guess, Ad Gifted. I guess I've got to say that. But I've had a little listen through. It's really interesting. It's written by one of the members of NSYNC and is an adaptation of Frankenstein. So if you want to go listen to this, CDs are available. Evidently, I have one. But you can also stream it online. That is it for miscellaneous news. Yes, after having 3 weeks in a row of seasons and like entire seasons being announced, I've given them their own category. We now have a category for seasons. I don't know if I like the placement, but I'm keeping it here for now. As always, I will briefly explain which theatre has announced their new season and give you a link in the description to take a look at all of the exciting shows that they have announced. First one is the Kilburn Theatre. This is an open air theatre who have announced a season of revivals, including a revival of the musical Grease and the musical 42nd Street. Two very exciting classic musicals that I'm sure a lot of you will be very interested in. And the other is the Bush Theatre in London, who have announced a whole slate of really exciting plays that you can go check out. Once again, link in the description to an article that will explain all of these exciting shows that you can book your tickets to soon. And let's move on to transfers and new productions. We're girl bossing through this. We're going to get through it. Let's go. Dear Evan Hansen has announced additional tour stops to this tour. Now, we are going to talk about the new tour stops, but I mean, it wouldn't be a weekly news recap if I didn't at least try and go through every single tour stop they have already announced. So, from next week, the tour is visiting Leeds, Liverpool, Sunderland, Oxford, and then next year they're visiting Northampton, Southampton, you know, both of them. Milton Keynes, Marlow, Bristol, Manchester, Glasgow, Aberdeen, Belfast, Chester, Wimbledon, Wolverhampton, Sheffield, Plymouth, Hull, Wales, specifically Cardiff. Not the entirety of Wales, that's too big. Where am I? Did I say... I think I missed a bunch. Cheltenham, Norwich, Blackpool, and newly announced, we have the Aylesbury Waterside Theatre. We have the Birmingham Alexandra, which it is returning to. It's already been there, and it's going back next year. We have the Grand Opera House in York, and finally the Edinburgh Playhouse. So you've got more chances to go and see the Dear Evan Hansen tour. Another tour that's been announced this week. Oh boy. Is The Last Laugh. The Last Laugh is getting a West End run and a UK tour. This is going to the Noel Coward Theatre from the 25th of February to the 22nd of March 2025. The Last Laugh is a show that premiered at the Edinburgh Fringe Festival this year and explores the lives of three of Britain's most beloved comedians, including Eric Morecambe, Tommy Cooper, and Bob Monkhouse, played by Bob Golding, Damian Williams, and Simon Cartwright, respectively. This will have a preview in Brighton from the 11th to the 15th of February 2025. Then it's going to the West End with the dates I've already told you. I don't need to say them again. And will then go on a tour. Starting in June 2025, it's going to York, Richmond, Newcastle, Sheffield, Milton Keynes, Glasgow, Birmingham, Manchester, Cardiff, and Southend. So if you are near any of those places, if you want to head to London to see it, you've got so many chances to catch The Last Laugh. We got so many shows to talk about because next up we have another West End production announced. This is The Years. This is transferring from the Almeida Theatre, which means, yes, we are getting yet another Almeida wall in the West End, as we should. We love the Almeida and their beautiful walls that end up in the West End a lot. This is based on Annie Ernaux's semi-autobiographical novel and will open at the Harold Pinter Theatre from the 24th of January to the 19th of April 2025. The cast includes Deborah Findlay, Romola Garai, Gina McKee, Anjali Mohindra, and Harmony Rose Bremner. Garai, however, will only be appearing in the show until the 8th of March, with further casting to be announced for who will take over the role when she leaves. So if you want to catch this play, if you missed it out the Almeida, you can catch it from the 24th of January to the 19th of April 2025. Heading over to Off West End, over to Elephant and Castle, where we have another show announced for the Southwark Playhouse Elephant. This is Scissorhands, a musical reinvented, which is going to have its European premiere after a sold-out run in Hollywood. This, if you haven't guessed already, is a reinterpretation of Edward Scissorhands, but make it like a pop parody musical with songs by Taylor Swift, Lady Gaga, and Alanis Morissette. This sounds wild. This does not sound anything like the type of Edward Scissorhands musical that I thought we would get, but this is what we're getting. I'm kind of here for it. It sounds wild and weird and camp, and you know I love a bit of camp. So if, like me, you are weirdly intrigued by this, you can head over to the Southwark Players Elephant from the 23rd of January to the 29th of March 2025. Another new musical that is coming, this has been a long week, there's more to come, is The Parent Agency, based on David Baddiel's best-selling book. This musical adaptation will be premiering at the Storyhouse Chester in February next year. This has been written by Dan Gillespie-Sells, who wrote the music to Everybody's Talking About Jamie, and David Baddiel is joining to adapt his own book to the stage, as well as helping on the lyrics alongside Sells. This is also being directed by Tim Jackson, who recently directed the concert of Little Piece of You, but also directed Two Strangers Karaoke Across New York. This follows a plot of the book where we see an 11-year-old wishing for new parents, which transports him to an alternate universe where children can select their ideal parents. So obviously you can kind of tell from that what kind of demographic this is going for. This is clearly aiming itself for more of a family, more of a younger demographic. But if you want to catch this, if you have children and you think they would enjoy this, it is running in Chester from the 15th February to the 2nd of March 2025. Becoming a little bit more spooky now, you can't keep a good ghost down because 222, a ghost story, it's back again. 222 is going back on another UK tour. They've got loads of tour stops planned. They've announced a bunch, and even so, there's still apparently 14 more dates to be announced on top of this. But the tour so far has announced that it will be opening at the Manchester Opera House from the 4th of August 2025, and then we'll visit Bristol, Glasgow, Sunderland, Milton Keynes, Malvern, Stoke, Brighton, Birmingham, Cheltenham, Guildford, Southampton, Peterborough. And then in 2026, it will go to Northampton, Norwich, Richmond, Plymouth, Cardiff, Oxford, Woking, and York. So if you want to catch a spooky little ghost story with, I'm sure, a very exciting cast, because they always goop you and gag you with their casts, you can catch 222 A Ghost Story when it comes to a town near you. We're in our final two stories this week. It was hard to pick which one I should lead as the big story of the week, because both of these are pretty big stories. I've started with The Illusionist, though. This has been announced to be Andrew Lloyd Webber's next musical, but there's a lot of interesting details that has been announced. This is eyeing a 2026 London run and has attached Jamie Lloyd, who has recently directed Sunset Boulevard and is going to be directing Evita next year. This musical has music by Lloyd Webber and is being co-created with Chris Terrio, who worked on the Justice League film and Argo. It is based on the 2006 film of the same name and is meant to have a fairly operatic score, following a magician in 1900s Vienna. So I guess we're just going to keep an eye out for some more news about The Illusionist. And finally, in news this week, I told you it's a busy week. We have 13 going on 30. After successful public workshops last year, 13 going on 30 will be having its world premiere in Manchester next year. Like other musicals like Doubtfire and Juliet, Burlesque, this will be doing a trial run at the Manchester Opera House on the 21st of September 2025 for a short season until the 12th of October 2025. What is very fun about this is how clever they've been with when tickets go on sale, because for 13 going on 30, tickets will be available on Wednesday the 13th of November at 1:30. And if you are unfamiliar with how we format time over here in England, that is 13:30. I wish I could hate it more, but it's kind of funny and kind of genius. This is extremely exciting. Can't wait to see this new musical. I hope I can get up to Manchester to see it, but maybe I'll have to wait for a future life or a potential West End transfer. I'm sure it is vying for. And casting will be announced very soon, so we'll have to keep an eye out for that. And I will share it in a future weekly news recap. That is your weekly news recap. Let me know in the comments what you are most excited for, because there's so much this week. There's so much. I could give you about 5 things I'm very excited for. If you did enjoy this video, please consider hitting like and subscribe. It really helps me. It helps out the channel. Here's some links to some other videos on screen right now, and a link to my Instagram if you'd like to drop me a follow over there. I also have other social links and a merch store in the description down below. But that's it for me today, and I hope to see you next time. Bye.